Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katelyn and I absolutely love to DIY and make cute farmhouse crafts as well as a ton of seasonal DIYs. In this video, I tried to come up with 3 projects that would kind of transition between this weird timing. I love decorating just a few things for Valentine's Day. I love after jumping back into my farmhouse decor and getting my stuff back out, but it's also going to be coming on spring in the next couple months, so I don't really put out a lot of winter decor. I like to just kind of be able to leave the pinks up from Valentine's Day and just kind of make it an easy transition through all of these little holidays, and they can even be left up until summer, especially adding like the blush pink is one of my favorite colors, so I love finding all the reasons to put it throughout my home with all of my neutral gray farmhouse decor. So I really hope you enjoy today's projects. You'll have to let me know in the comments below which one turns out to be your favorite. Please give me a big thumbs up, it really helps my channel to grow. Make sure to subscribe, and let's jump on into the video. For this first project, I wanted to share with you all a couple different options. If you do want to go with Dollar Tree, you can use one of these 14-inch wreath rounds, and usually these just pop off together. I think because I was trying to show you all how easy that they come apart that I was really struggling with it. But I have taken several of these apart and not struggled this hard, so I think with the right pair of pliers you could easily just pop the little weld off of there so that these will come apart. But since I was struggling so hard and my little circle was coming out of shape, I wanted to use these little wreath rings that I picked up for just a couple dollars at Walmart. They're a really good price, and you have like 3 nice sturdy rings, and I think they were $2 and change. I'm not sure, but they were definitely under $3, so I think this was a really good buy alternative than, like I say, trying to use the cheap Dollar Tree rings. So I'm going to be using the largest one for this project. I have been seeing these decorated wreath rings everywhere and so excited to put one together for you all, so I'm going to save the smaller 2 and use them on a later project. I also picked up just an assortment of floral stems. I picked up these light pink roses from Dollar Tree. I thought they were the perfect color. And then I'm using some of this lamb's ear, which is $2 from Walmart, and you get 2 stems in there, so that's perfect for this project. And then I do end up adding some white roses, and then not using those little white baby breath flowers that I picked up at Dollar Tree. So it's just one of those things, I just jumped into it, and I wasn't sure which flowers I wanted to use, but I just kind of worked around what I had until I really liked the design of it.
Try to be cool, even wear that shirt you wanted to. My friends think I'm lame. Since I met you, I am not the same.
I was nervous at first because you can see how thin that this metal ring is, and you really don't have a lot to glue to. So I think by wrapping the lamb's ear stem around, it added a little bit of texture and dimension so that I will have a tiny bit of a larger area to glue down my flowers. I made sure that I cut off the stem so that everything would kind of lay as flat as possible, but the first thing I wanted to do was just kind of lay it out and see like how many flowers I wanted to use and then which colors I wanted to add in there.
Be a fairy tale with a happy end. Girl, you take care now. I hope we can be friends. How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay.
I'm trying to make this so it does have a little bit of color. I know I make a ton of neutral decor all the time, so it's fun for me to add pops of color, but if this is something that you wanted to make more farmhouse, you could definitely just use the white flowers and add more greenery. I think it would also be really pretty if I would have added some green paint onto those leaves, maybe just dry brush them with a little bit of dark green chalk paint so they didn't kind of have that cheap shiny green look, but after it all came together I still think that it looked really cute. And then, like I say, I just tried to glue them down the way that I had laid them out. They didn't turn out perfect after I had picked them up, but I did like adding the green back there just to add that pop of green color. But I'm sure that I still can go back and add that little paint if I want to later on. I use this little bead garland that I picked up at Hobby Lobby in like every other video, but I need some more of them. I think they're awesome. This was like a fall garland that I picked up, and I just keep cutting it and taking a few beads that I need off, and then I tie the end back together and save it for later. So these literally last forever. I've used these on a ton of projects, so I highly recommend these little wooden beads. If you do see them at Hobby Lobby, pick them up. But I decided to grab 5 beads off of there. I'm gonna string them on my own thin little jute string, and that way I can tie this to the top to make a decorative little hanger. And I am loving the little beads hanger, how everyone is even putting them on signs in the stores. Big Lots does that a lot too, but I think it's just beautiful and adds such a decorative touch. So the next thing I'm going to do is make a super simple little bow. I'm just going to cross my cheap Dollar Tree burlap ribbon and tie that in the center with a piece of jute string, and then just kind of fluff it up so that I can glue it underneath of this little wooden bead hanger. I cut the little angles in the bow tails to give it a little decorative touch, and then I'm going to kind of glue it down. Once again, since the wire is so thin, I did try to put the glue long ways, and I did try to lay, every time I wanted to hot glue something down on paper so it didn't stick to my table. You also could put a piece of felt or a small piece of styrofoam behind all of these items that you want to glue down if you are wanting them to be more stable or have more surface area to hold it in place. And that's how simple this came together. And like I say, you could make this fully neutral and just do more greenery and white flowers in the center. But I love that little pop of pink to be able to add into my home and get ready for spring. Okay, so for this next DIY, I was just kind of playing around and having fun. I had picked up some new wooden pieces from the Dollar Tree Crafter Square, so I was so excited about it and just wanted to try to put them together. I originally thought that I would remove the home sign, but it just was really stuck in there. I didn't want to risk breaking it, so I just left it on there. And then I also picked up one of these small little wooden frames. I thought that little kitten in there was so cute. I hated to take it out. And then it comes with this little peg so that it will be able to stand up. So whenever I started this, I didn't have anything in mind that I was intentionally going for. I just thought it would be fun to try to paint these and put them together in a really cute way that would go well with farmhouse or rustic decor. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove that cute little picture. I turned it around backwards just so I could kind of have a blank slate and kind of see what I'm working with. I removed that little peg for a while so that I could lay everything flat. And then I really wanted to make those little home letters in the galvanized look. So I take them out and spray them with some silver spray paint. This is what this looks like. I just held it with this little grocery bag so that I didn't get paint all over my fingers. And then I wanted to use some of my elephant color paint so that I can dry brush over the top of this, or not really dry brush, but kind of dab on it so I can get the galvanized effect. I think that it looked really good just with the elephant color paint. Sometimes I take a little bit of white and dab that over there just to make it pop, but I didn't feel like it needed that. I wanted this toned down a little bit because I don't want this to be the focal point of this piece. and I made sure that I did get the top and the edges just to make sure that none of the silver spray paint was just super shiny. So I missed some footage, but I am using the truffle color brown chalk paint from Waverly, and I painted the frame, and then I'm taking that same color and just doing the base of this home so that it will match the frame. I did switch for a smaller brush so I could get super close to those little home letters and not get it all over the place. I wasn't loving my frame just being one solid color. I wanted some texture there and some dimension, so I'm using some of my mineral color, which is like a beige color. It's one of my favorite colors that Waverly has, and I love just dry brushing this over the dark brown, and then you can see it just gives it a perfect little effect. It makes it look really weathered and kind of worn down, and it gives it a lot of texture. And I also do this on the bottom of that home sign that I just painted so that it does blend in. My intentions was to somehow glue that home on the bottom of this frame so that it kind of made a little base, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to put a photo in it, but I decided that it would be more fun to make this its own little decorative piece instead of just putting a photo, because this little frame did not come with any glass, so I just wanted to make it more of like just a solid piece that I could sit around and decorate with. I knew I needed some kind of beige colored paper because I didn't want anything bright white against all of this brown and brown shades that is in this piece. So I'm using one of these cute little scrapbooking pieces from Hobby Lobby. It has this little font on it that just goes really nicely and makes a perfect background. So I just traced it on my frame, cut that out so that I can insert this into the back. This frame did not come with any glass or plastic, so you might need to put a piece of cardboard behind it just to give it a little bit more stability. I could not wait to try out these gorgeous little greenery scratch offs that I picked up from Dollar Tree, or they're like rub-on transfers. I didn't want to mess any of these leaves up because my Dollar Tree only had a couple of these. I went ahead and picked up both sets, but I want to try to save them as much as possible. So I went ahead and cut mine out, and then I'm going to lay it on there, and I just took one of my little paint tools and tried to rub it on there. I had to end up using the handle just because it was more of a harder surface, but you can use like a wooden popsicle stick. And then after I rubbed it for a little bit with the stick, I went ahead and picked it up, and then places that you see that are still stuck to the paper, you can just kind of go over those and kind of press them down. But I thought this was so gorgeous. I'm so proud of Dollar Tree for putting these out. These will be so fun to use in farmhouse DIYs. So the next thing I'm going to do is glue down the little home, and this will go in the front to make like a little base. And like I say, I didn't really have anything in mind whenever I was just doing this. I was just kind of going for it and trying to make a unique, different little piece. And then this is how this looks. I think the galvanized letters pop off of that brown color background. And then I tied just a dainty little bow out of this thin Dollar Tree jute string, and I'm going to hot glue that to the top of the wreath. This is how it came together. I think, like I say, this is just a unique piece. It's just something special and different than anything that I've made before. It's kind of like using a picture frame, but I wanted to make it so much more than just being able to add in just a normal photo. And then moving on to the next DIY, I'm using one of these Valentine signs. These little square signs are perfect to pick up this time of year. I love the ones that have the edges like this that actually look like little planks of wood. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint this with some of my white Waverly chalk paint, and I tried not to get 100% coverage. I tried to put a little bit less paint on the edges so that I really didn't have to distress this much, and it just kind of looked like it was weathered wood.
Where you move, make me blind. You will always be there. There's no doubt in my mind. You will always be there. Heading out to see ya and leave the rest behind. Oh.
I still love the texture that the sandpaper gives the paint, so I'm just running it in one direction alongside the sign. I get asked all the time what's my favorite sandpaper. I just pick up these little gator packs from Walmart in the power tools section. They're just pre-cut little squares and they are so perfect to use. They come in several different grits of sandpaper so that you can kind of get what you're going for. I usually just pick up several packs of the different kinds and use them on different projects. So after my sign had dried, I wanted a heart shape. I wanted to glue down some nautical rope into a heart shape, so I'm needing the perfect little heart. I didn't like how that first one came out, so I'm freehanding another one, and then I'm going to cut this out and then just fold this over so that I can get the perfect heart shape. This is just such a simple little trick to be able to get your heart as symmetrical as possible. I put it on the top of my sign and I'm going to trace that with a pencil so that I will have a guideline to use my hot glue gun and just try to make this the nicest heart as possible. So I did struggle a little bit cutting the rope, so I needed some sharper scissors, but I ended up just cutting the ends and then hot gluing little sections at a time just to make sure the hot glue is going to stay warm enough to hold the rope down.
There's no air left to breathe. Yeah, you make me feel like I can run on water. I'm picking up the speed.
Every time I use nautical rope, I get several comments about how you can use a lighter to singe the hairs off of the nautical rope, and this does work really good. It almost kind of darkens the rope a little bit, which gives it a really cool rustic effect, and I did go over this again, and it does work. Just be super careful with this. I don't know if you really could darken the paint of your sign if you did hold the flame there too long. So the next thing I'm doing is using some of these metal words that Dollar Tree has out for different seasons. And this one was a Valentine pack, and I'm using the word love. And then I'm adding some little flowers. I didn't know how I wanted them at first. I thought it'd be cute in the middle, but I'm really not wanting to cover up the top of that heart so you really can tell what it is. So I thought it would be cute to add these little flowers to the side. I decided to not use the pink flowers so that this could be neutral and left up all year. I think this would be a beautiful little sign to add in your bedroom. You also could put like your initials inside of the heart. I think that would be really cute. Of a couple's initials, or even like the letter of your last name, and really dress this up even more. But I'm just loving it how it looks so plain, but it's a super cute little piece that, like I say, I could display in my bedroom. So I painted my letters black, like you can see, to make it pop off of the sign. I'm going to hot glue the little greenery down in opposite directions and then just glue the little flowers in the center. You do have to work fast whenever you are gluing these metal words down. The glue does want to instantly dry since it is kind of on cool metal, and I just hurried up and put that down. But it is staying, so you could use some E6000 if you have the time to do that. And then I tied a little piece of jute twine at the top of this. I cut the little ends off. And then I think that's about it to finish this next project, and I think it turned out, like I say, so cute. Such a beautiful piece to add into your family room or a bedroom, and just display this with some of your farmhouse decorations. But like I say, you could add initials or your last name and really dress this up. you enjoyed these projects I brought you today. Like I say, I'm really hoping that they are kind of like a versatile piece that can go through Valentine's, normal farmhouse, and into spring, and just really add some color into our farmhouse neutral decor. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.